I'm here in South Korea to test an incredibly interesting, very familiar nameplate, the Hyundai Santa Fe 7-seat large SUV. Now this big 7-seater we're all very familiar with on Australian roads, but what a departure this new model is. And it's all come about through the body styling. If we look at the front end, incredibly boxy, down the sides, giant wheel arches, but most polarizing of all, check out the back end of this thing. A giant tailgate, and the size of those rear lights that look something like Space Invaders are mounted so far down, you're not going to confuse this car with anything else, except maybe a Land Rover Defender. While these new Santa Fe's are on the road in Korea already, we're not going to receive them in Australia until about April 2024. And although we don't know the pricing of them just yet, we can be guaranteed it's going to cost more than the current variants, which are from about $50,000 drive away up to the top spec at $75,000 drive away. So maybe you can add about $5,000 to those figures, and that's probably where you'll be at for these new cars. When these launch in Australia, we're only going to have one engine choice, and that's a 1.6 litre 4-cylinder petrol hybrid. What will follow will probably be a 2.5 litre petrol turbo, but we're really up in the air if we're going to receive a diesel or not, as so many markets around the world have dropped diesel. So this hybrid is no doubt going to have to do the heavy lifting on the economy front. The official figures is 6.5 litres per 100 kilometre, which is slightly more than the current diesel Santa Fe that we get in Australia. Biggest problem with not having a diesel is towing capacity. This hybrid will only handle 1,650 kilograms, so it's not going to be a great option for anyone at all who needs to do caravan towing. What I can tell you is that there's a lovely electric feel to this vehicle at low speeds. Much like a Toyota hybrid, I can just roll along at around 20, 30, 40 kilometers an hour, and it'll move just with that battery power and hybrid electric motor. It means a lovely smooth cruise through town and in traffic when you're actually saving fuel. And we've been seeing about 7.0 litres per 100 kilometres in town, which is fantastic for a 7-seat SUV. When you need a little bit more performance as well, I put my foot down and the petrol engine joins in, but you can barely notice it at all. Hyundai's done a great job of making it a smooth transition, exactly what this car needs to be as a hybrid. So we're yet to learn exactly what the full specifications are for the Australian market new Santa Fe, but the vehicles we're in now are of course loaded with technology. I've got a twin panoramic screen up front here that just incorporates my driver display and my infotainment, and a lovely panel as well for my climate control, even with some rotary dials as well. So it blends old school and new school with incredible comfort as well. These seats we're in the highest grade possible, and they are very, very comfy. Lovely cosseting leather, heated, ventilated power, all the good stuff. And importantly for families as well, middle row space like you would not believe. I don't think I've seen headroom quite like it in an SUV of this size. And Hyundai is also claiming highest headroom in class for the third row of seating. It was a bit of a knee room cramp for me as a 6-footer, but my headroom was fine, and you've got all the creature comforts like ventilation, USB ports, and nice armrests and cup holders. It'll be really interesting to see exactly how Hyundai prices this vehicle and what the specification will be. But probably the biggest thing will be, will we take to the styling of it? Is it too radical to make people buy it, or will people embrace it? Because there's so many same SUVs, this is a massive point of difference. It's comfortable, it's smooth, it's quiet, but what about the styling? It'll be really interesting to see how Australians take to it.